Earlier this week, it was announced that current Feyenoord manager Arne will be taking over as manager of Liverpool FC next season, after, in January of this year, Jurgen Klopp announced that his 9-year tenure of the club will be coming to an end at the end of this season. Man United have the Dutch Walter White, and now Liverpool have the Dutch Henk. If you're anything like myself, there's a strong chance you haven't heard of Slot until the rumours of him taking over for Klopp emerged. So, I guess the question is, who is the newest face to brace the touchline at Anfield? Slot began his playing career in 1995 for Dutch side PEC Zwolle. He spent his entire career in the Netherlands playing for the likes of NAC Breda and Sparta Rotterdam as an attacking midfielder, as well as with Zwolle, of course. He made the most appearances of Zwolle, with the 176 outings for the club between the years 1995 and 2002. It was with Zwolle when he won the Dutch Second Division in both 2002 and 2012, as well as the Player of the Year award for the club for the 2011-2012 season. By the time he retired in 2013, Slot had 387 senior appearances, 80 goals, and 53 assists. His managerial career began shortly after, when he took over as a youth coach for PEC Zwolle, the club he just retired from playing for, in the 2013-2014 season. After a season as a youth coach, he went to then Eredivisie and now Second Division side SC Camber as an assistant manager. He stayed in this position until the beginning of the 2016-2017 season, when he was appointed caretaker manager after Sipke Holshoff left the club. Throughout his time as an assistant, he was an understudy for current Camber manager Henk de Jong, current PSV assistant manager Rob Maas, former El Shabab manager Marcel Keizer, and of course, current Netherlands national team assistant manager Sipke Holshoff. During his time as an assistant at Camber, he saw a mid-table finish, a relegation, and then he led Camber to a third-place finish in the Second Division when he was caretaker manager in the 2016-2017 season. Just a month after leaving Camber, he joined AZ Alkmaar as an assistant manager. It was here where he was an understudy to Jean van den Brom, who was most recently the manager of Polish side Lech Poznan in December 2023. After 81 games as an assistant, Slot was named manager of AZ Alkmaar for the start of the 2019-2020 season. In this season, his first season as manager, he led AZ Alkmaar to a second-place finish in the Eredivisie. However, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, the Dutch league was paused after just 25 games. The KNVB, or the Dutch Football Station, announced on the 21st of April 2020 that the current league positions would be final. However, first-place Ajax would not be crowned as champions. AZ was 6 points behind Ajax when play stopped. His first tenure as manager would end after just 58 games, as his time at AZ came to a close in December of 2020 at the start of the 2020-2021 season. He was sacked amidst rumors that he was in negotiation to join Feyenoord as manager in the following season. However, the rumors were correct. Slot joined Feyenoord at the start of the 2021-2022 season and is still there today. Well, that's if he doesn't get sacked for negotiating to become a Liverpool manager. What a badass. Feyenoord are used to push for league titles and qualifying for European football on a regular basis. However, they finished 5th in the Eredivisie in the 2020-21 season, 29 points behind first-place Ajax, and the only automatic Champions League spot in Eredivisie this season. Slot had a rebuild on his hands. In the 2021-22 season, Slot led Feyenoord to a third-place finish. They clinched a qualifier for the Conference League and had 12 more points than the previous season. They also won the final of the Conference League in the 2021-22 season. They fell 1-0 to Jose Mourinho's AS Roma, however, this was only just a start. Slot was bringing Feyenoord back. Come the 2022-23 season, and Slot was swinging for the fences. Feyenoord finished first in the Eredivisie and were crowned champions of the Netherlands for the first time in 7 years. They also made the quarter-final of the Europa League, where they once again fell to Jose Mourinho's AS Roma. That brings us to the current 2023-24 season. Slot was experiencing Champions League football for the first time. Feyenoord were drawn to Group E with Atletico Madrid, Lazio, and Celtic. Feyenoord finished third in the group with 6 points from wins over Celtic and Lazio. They made it to the knockout round playoffs of the Europa League, where they were eventually defeated by, you guessed it, let's say it together, Jose Mourinho's AS Roma. Jose's Roma knocking out Slot's Feyenoord out of Europe. A better love story than Romeo and Juliet. However, Slot was seeing success elsewhere from the 23-24 season. On the 21st of April, Feyenoord defeated NEC 1-0 in the KNVB Cup final, with Slot claiming a second piece of silverware in 2 seasons at Feyenoord. That was their first Dutch Cup in 6 years. As of now, Feyenoord sits second in the Eredivisie and are 9 points behind first place PSV. They are 12 points clear of third place Twente and are in a comfortable position to bring the Champions League football back to Die Kuip next season. Slot's appointment may raise a lot of eyebrows, as appointing a manager without any Premier League experience can always be a bit of a gamble these days. However, this is the same man that didn't only take over one of the biggest clubs in the Netherlands without any experience as a head manager, however, he took Feyenoord back to where the fans want them to be and brought home trophies for the first time in the better part of a decade. He leaves Feyenoord in a much better place than when he found it, and looks to write a new chapter at Liverpool. One of the most significant things to consider when appointing a new manager is tactics. So here's a question. What are Slot's preferred tactics? How do they fit into the current Liverpool squad? And which players could we see Liverpool bring in this summer? Former Liverpool forward and fellow Dutchman Dirk Kuyt has recently had his take on how Slot's tactics can transform Liverpool, saying he doesn't copy anyone. He knows exactly what he wants, and he believes in it. Kuyt was most likely referring to the attractive and aggressive football that Slot is known for. It seems like a similar style to the gegenpress that was utilized by Klopp, but according to Kuyt, Slot does things his own way. He won't have any interest in being the next Klopp, which is actually essential for Liverpool. It goes without saying what Klopp has done for Liverpool. He leaves the club as one of the greatest managers in Liverpool's 132-year history. However, Slot needs to be his own manager if Liverpool are to receive that much-needed refresh, something he appears to be more than capable of doing. Just look at his time at Feyenoord. Kuyt actually commented on Feyenoord's 2022-23 campaign, saying, outperforming Ajax and PSV to become champions was unbelievable because nobody expected that at the start of the season. Although Liverpool are in a much better place when Klopp first joined, they are still in need of something to bring them back to where the fans know they belong. Klopp's key to doing just that was to use uncut gems, overperform, and adapt quickly with player departures. These are aspects of the job Slot has experience in from his days at Feyenoord. Although there is an admittedly valid argument, and the gap to the Premier League from leagues outside of Europe's top 5 is a large one, it seems like Slot has experience where it matters. As for Liverpool's current squad, there are some signings Slot could make to help implement his tactics in his first season at Anfield. There has been talk on bringing a defensive midfielder to Liverpool for the better part of this season. Wataru Endo has been immensely impressive ever since joining the club from Bundesliga side VfB Stuttgart this past summer. However, the nature of fixture congestion has allowed the CDM role to be rotated between him and Alexis McAllister this past season. Although he's made a good transition to the number 6 role, McAllister is more of a number 10, and it would certainly make sense to bring in another CDM, especially because of youngster Stefan Bajcetic's injury woes, which have sidelined him for all of this season. Liverpool have been linked to the likes of Crystal Palace's Sheikh Doucouré in the past, as well as West Ham's Edson Alvarez. However, some more uncut gems such as Fluminense's Andre have been rumoured to join Liverpool as well. Whoever they do sign, it seems like Slot has the philosophy to make an impact with the squad. In conclusion, it seems like Liverpool have realized how effective Klopp's philosophy and tactics have been for the club, and they want to continue that, all while building something new. Slot isn't necessarily a household name, so they wouldn't be appointing him unless they feel like he has something that makes him stand out from the rest. Maybe it's his ability to overperform, the proven impact he can have on a team, the strong connection that he builds with players. They are all aspects of the game Liverpool are in need of right now, and will be in need of after Klopp's departure inevitably leaves some massive shoes to fill. A lack of Premier League experience is a very valid argument. However, it seems like if the Liverpool board saw this as the primary issue, they would have hired Wolves' Gary O'Neill, as he was also interviewed for the position. Liverpool seem to think that Arne Slot has what it takes to write the next chapter at Liverpool. When you take a minute to look into it, I don't see why he doesn't.